I am almost 100% positive you have heard the term high intensity interval training, also known as HIIT, in relation to exercise. HIIT workouts can be super beneficial for everyone, no matter what your age, ability, or goals are. So if you're a woman in your 40s and beyond, HIIT workouts are not just efficient for fat loss, but they can also help you navigate all these crazy hormonal changes that we go through during this season in our life. I'm Melissa King, board certified health and wellness coach, ACE certified personal trainer, and Girls Gone Strong women's certified coach. All right, let's first start talking about the fun stuff. And yes, fun stuff is in quotes because it's not always fun. The fun stuff that we go through as women in midlife when our hormones can't decide if they want to stay at healthy levels, go super high, or drop to an all-time low, right? So this can vary from woman to woman and even day to day and even throughout the day, okay? So you could feel like everything is going great one day, and then you wake up the next day and you have this wave of anxiety. Now, you might not remember what you walked in the kitchen for or why you opened another tab on your web browser. This is pretty much me on a daily basis with the web browser tab. So you might feel all of a sudden like it's 5,000 degrees in the room, and then frantically grab a blanket because all of a sudden you're freezing cold. Or you might look at your partner and wonder why you hate them right now for no reason at all. Okay, the struggle is real. Am I right, ladies? Yes, these are all real life challenges that many fabulous women in midlife, like you and I, experienced. On one hand, it's an interesting season that can be confusing and frustrating at times, and on the other hand, it can also be a time where you really don't give a shit about what anyone thinks about you and finally are able to take risks that you've been wanting to take. Or it can be a little bit of both. That's where I'm at right now. So thankfully, there are ways to mitigate anxiety, mood swings, brain fog, and other perimenopausal and menopausal symptoms. And one of them is exercise. Okay, before we dive into how exercise can improve all the fun stuff, let's learn a little bit about the changes that could be happening with your hormones and how it's affecting your ability to remember where the hell you put your keys, or the anxiety you're feeling for no reason at all. Sound familiar? So I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty science of how hormones affect the brain, but I think it's important to have a basic understanding of what's happening. So I'll be sure to make it super simple. Okay, let's start with some fun facts about hormones in your brain. Your central nervous system, also called CNS, is a system in your body that controls just about everything: appetite, sitting, standing, muscles, heart rate, blood pressure, etc. You name it, the CNS is basically in charge. So your CNS is made up of your brain and your spinal cord. And it's obvious after just these few short sentences that it's a pretty important system that literally keeps things running efficiently. All right, so when your brain isn't getting enough estrogen, because it has little estrogen receptors just kind of waiting to collect the estrogen that's flowing through your body, you may experience brain fog, difficulty concentrating, or other memory issues. Progesterone can help stimulate your feel-good hormones such as serotonin and GABA. So when your progesterone levels are low, you may experience a little bit more anxiety, depression, and the mood swings. And going back to what I said previously, when you're staring at your partner and you're like, why do I hate you so much right now? That is an example of possibly low progesterone. So to put this in perspective, if you ever notice, like just before your period starts, or when you did have a period, that you feel moody, anxious, and like you just want to rage over your kids misbehaving, or your partner simply just not doing the dishes when you ask them to. Or if you feel like a raccoon and you're just getting distracted by shiny things all over the place, you're not crazy. I promise you, you are not crazy. It's actually your brain's response to your estrogen and progesterone levels being low during this phase of your cycle. So thankfully, if your cycle is regular, these hormones will start to increase as you get closer to ovulation, which is about the middle of your cycle. This is a time over these few weeks you should start to feel more relaxed and focused, once you're menstruating and then moving on throughout your cycle. So if you're in perimenopause, which is the menopause transition, which could go on for years, your story might be just a little different. So when your cycle becomes irregular and your hormones just fluctuate more frequently, it can be a little bit harder to predict when your estrogen and progesterone levels are low. So thankfully, there are tools you can use at home to measure your hormones to give you a better understanding of what's happening inside. I like to use the Mira app. I will link below in the show notes to my personal affiliate link to Mira if you want to take a peek at it and do some research on it. So sometimes not knowing what's happening inside you can just add that layer of frustration to the emotions you're already feeling. So knowing what your hormones are doing can help you maybe be a little bit more strategic about your exercise routine. Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff, the solution section. So now let's talk about how interval training could help your memory, mood, and concentrating. So high intensity interval training is known to stimulate the brain by using glucose for energy. This will help you stay alert and focused throughout the day and boost your energy levels. So if you feel like your anxiety is skyrocketing, maybe steer clear of a high intensity training workout and shift your focus towards a lower intensity interval workout, which can be a walk or a hike with the occasional hills. So the interval where you're getting your heart rate up is when you're going up the hill, but it's not that intense. So this can help you produce more feel-good hormones and reduce stress. One thing that will really help you improve your concentration is mindfulness exercises. So you can do this a number of different ways during your workout. So I'll share a couple with you right now. So one of them is to really pay close attention to your form during a movement. So not only will this help you hone in on your focus skills, but it will also help you prevent injury, work your muscles more efficiently, because when you're not doing proper form, not only are you prone to injury, but you may not even be working your muscles in a way to where they're actually gonna build up, which is what you want. So you can also pay close attention to your breath to make sure you're actually breathing through the movement. I can't tell you how many times I see people in the gym holding their breath during a movement. This is something that you absolutely do not want, okay? And breath exercises are really good for the brain because it helps your brain get more oxygen. So what happens during an anxiety attack? When you start breathing heavy, your brain can't get enough oxygen, so it can't do its job to calm you down and minimize the stress. So one of the things you could do to really focus on your breath is to begin by focusing on inhaling during the easy part of the movement and exhaling during the hard part of the movement. For example, when you're doing a squat, when you're going down into the squat, inhale, and when you're coming up out of the squat, that's when you would exhale. So really practicing some mindful breathing not only will help calm you down, help you stay more focused, but it will actually make your workouts more effective, which is what we all want, right? We're busy ladies, we're busy women, and we want to make the most out of our time, right? All right, so these are just a few tips on how you could utilize interval training, whether it be high intensity or low intensity, to really not just, build muscle and improve your cardiovascular system, not just burn fat, but also improve your memory and your focus skills, which kind of starts to go downhill when you hit your 40s. So let me know in the comments, what do you do to improve your focus and memory skills if you're going through perimenopause or you're in menopause or postmenopause, whatever it is. I'm so curious. I'd love to hear from you. And also, quick note, 1 week from today, no, actually 1 week from tomorrow, September 6th is the last day to sign up for the fall cohort of my 6-week Healthy Habit Reset. It's my group coaching program, and you can go to melissaking.net and under Work With Me, go to 6-week Healthy Habit Reset. You'll find all the details there. I'll put the link below. And I'd love to have you join if you're looking for accountability, you want to get back on track, the kids are back in school, or you just want to, get ahead of all the holiday chaos. I'd love to have you join us. It's going to be a really great, really fun 6 weeks together of accountability, support, habit creation, and just making this nutrition and fitness stuff work for you.